Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dowston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our full monthly overview for February 2024. Yes, slightly longer February this month because of leap year this year. So before we get into what is February asking us to focus on, let's have a look back, shall we, to January, which seemed to go whoosh right past us as it got the year going. We had Hexagram 24, the return, the bear coming out of the cave, the turning point from darkness back into light, and a time to see that the turning point has been reached. The chance for change, the chance for the pivot has come, and our task is just to be with it and go with it and flow with it like the bear follows its instincts as the time comes for him to leave that cave. And we had Hexagram 19 approach, the arrival of something big approaching something small, the arrival of spring energy. And of course, a big theme for last month was this doubling of energy, of turning points, of arrivals, of spring, of this new energy coming in to bring us blessings. So for you, what was the turning point? What did you return to from the past, which was the other factor? What arrived? What new big energy came in? And did you embrace it and welcome it in, which is what we were asked to do, not to force it into shape to meet our will. So if there was something that came up for you, please do share a comment. It's always great to hear from everybody. So, interesting February. Just because it's short doesn't mean it's not jam-packed with things for us to learn and do. As the I Ching always comes to bring us something we can focus on and work with in our lives. And so our first hexagram for February, our main flow of change that we are working with in this month is hexagram 41, decrease. I know what you're thinking. You think, oh no, I want to expand, I want increase, I want grow, I want speed. I don't want decrease. What on earth is this all about? This hexagram is all about decreasing excess. Right. Now, you'll remember our annual overview, locked for the year, is 23, stripping or splitting apart, cutting away excess, getting right down to the bare bones. So we have that theme with us for the whole of 2024. And here comes a bit of a companion energy as we start working with February. We had the turning point and we had the change in energy coming in January. Now we've got some work to do because we're being asked to decrease the excess. The idea with this hexagram and what it tries to bring our attention to is that now is the time, February is the time where we have to cut back. We have to decrease our involvement. We have to let some things go so that we can focus our energy like a laser beam to what is most important for the future. Okay. So there's many layers, as always, with these hexagrams that we can apply. On a mundane physical level, this is about decreasing physical, emotional, mental excesses. All right? Excesses of any type. Your energy, your time, your money, your care. Cutting back on extraneous expenses, re-looking at your subscriptions, for example, getting rid of things you don't use, being really economical, and a little bit in an austerity mode. Okay? So we're going into cutting off what is not necessary, being wise as to what we really need, and getting rid of the excess energy that is holding us in its grasp. So we all have things that take too much of our time, energy, and money, and care. This month is an opportunity for us to become aware and to take action on what those areas might be. The hexagrams, like I've said before, act as like a radio station, a frequency. They dial us in. And suddenly, in February, you'll see these types of issues popping up to get your attention. Doesn't mean that all those other areas in your life are not happening, right? The other 63 hexagrams. Doesn't mean they're not there and they're not online. But what it means is, for us as a collective, this is the thing we're all dialing into. We can share and we can use to get somewhere meaningful in the month. So decrease. Let's take responsibility for cutting back what is in excess. Where might your time be invested in things that are excessive, unnecessary, superfluous? Where might your energy be caught in conversations and relationships and issues and projects that are actually not core? Where's your money being spent, business and personal, in directions that are not core, that are not essential? This is the opportunity to cut back. Why are we cutting back? Okay, we're cutting back with purpose, because this hexagram brings us this awareness that we are cutting back for future gain. It is the ultimate idea of sacrifice with a capital S, okay? Not sacrificing ourselves for a loved one or for an ideal or for our work and not getting anything in return. Making a sacrifice of a lower to bring in something of a higher at a future time, right? So this hexagram is asking us to pay attention to where we need to let go of things of the lower, okay, or where we need to invest in things that bring return later. So from a business point of view, this doesn't mean not spending money. From a personal point of view, it's not about not spending money or your energy or your time. It's investing them in things that bring returns in the future. Being willing to make the sacrifice now of all the nice to haves, because you are committing to doing something meaningful with that spend for a bigger picture, a bigger return. That is what this hexagram brings to us. And if this month we can become aware of just one thing that is taking our energy, our time, our money, our care, that is not for the highest, the best, that is a sacrifice with a small s, let us find a way of letting it go. Okay, with love and care. Goodbye. Letting it go, cutting back. This is really an idea of being hyper-focused. And the idea of a laser is exactly that. You can be a torch with a nice broad beam shining on everything and everyone. Isn't it wonderful? But do we cut through the metal? Right? No, we don't. We cut through metal. We achieve difficult, challenging, important things because we are hyper-focused. And we are hyper-focused because we don't have noise. Okay. So this hexagram, I always see it as you're decreasing the beam of light into this, okay, to be hyper-focused and to do something really important, to bring power into a focused point and to put down all the noise, anything that's excessive, that is holding our energy back from, okay, being that tiny little laser beam that can cut through the metal. Now to changing lines. This month, and they are both lovely changing lines, so you can relax. We aren't getting too much hardcore decreased energy. We're working with it. We're being conscious. We're taking responsibility as adults to cut back wherever we need to cut back, to slough off the excess, right? But we do have some gifts and blessings that are coming and working with us this month as well. So two changing lines, the 5th and the 6th position. With our monthlies, we always time those, okay? So we work with the idea that the change line in the 5th position will mature round about 9th, 10th February, and the next one round about 19th, 20th of February. Okay, let's get into our changing lines. Position 5, blessings. Okay, so there's something around blessings being activated, the door being open, and perhaps because we've made some sacrifices, big S. We've been investing. We've been listening. We've been cutting back. We've been focusing like a laser beam. And so because we've done that this month, we are aware of the blessings. The door opens. All we have to do is have a plan, go out the door and go and do what needs to get done. So there's a wonderful energy of support, of helpers, of people understanding what you're trying to do, of this energy just coming in to support and get behind you, and this energy moving forward. So the energy will decrease. Maybe this is something that you've been doing. Your reward is to see how the blessings are coming to support the actions you've already taken. And perhaps if there's more that you can do to decrease and be hyper focused, laser beam focused, then do that. But certainly in the first 10 days of the month, the door is open, right? There's an opportunity, there's an energy, there's a connection here that's giving you the space to move forward, pick up your stuff and move forward with energy because the blessings and help are there. And then in the 6th position, okay, the culmination line right at the top, okay, this is the position of the sage, right? So position 5 is like the wise king position. Position 6 is the priest, the high priest, the shaman position, okay? It's the person who has mastered themselves and have left the world behind, okay? And they've got this kind of connection of giving back to others. All right. This line says, we should not be increased and others are decreased, okay? So we have to be aware that as we are increased, be the sage, okay, be the higher person, and increase the people around us. So we are being called in the second part of the month, roundabout up until the 20th of February, is to be tuned into this idea that as we are increased, as we get blessings, so we bless others, and we create an environment of sharing. We can create a feedback loop. We create energy that moves, and we give back to others as we receive. So it's quite interesting with these changing lines that we're in the hexagram of decrease, but there's kind of like this blessing sitting in both these changing lines. 5 is doors open, go for it. Okay, the blessing comes. Nothing can stop this blessing from coming to you. Line 6 says, in the position where you're in an authority position, you can help others as you receive your blessing, you bless others. Create a cycle and flow of mutual blessing with others. And with that comes in more blessing and more goodness. But don't be increased and others aren't increased with you. Okay, so a lovely energy. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these changing lines pan out. I'm thinking to myself, what have I decreased that might show itself in this way? Where are the other areas that I need to work at? Cutting back. I think I've got some subscriptions I'm going to cancel. And what do I need to do to really embrace this idea of being a laser beam, which means giving up. Fingers on all the other pies that take our energy. Okay, where are all these other pies that are consuming your time, energy, money, and care? So where does that lead? What is our second flow of change connected to this month? And what is our path to victory? What is a tool we can use to really tap into the blessings that are here for us? Well, it's hexagram 60, limitation. This is a really interesting pairing. I mean, they kind of are little cousins here, right? They sit together as two stories. And when we see them as a whole, decrease and limitation. Let's see this as a fabulous opportunity. So limitation, we have had this hexagram plenty of times before and recently too. Water on the top, lake on the bottom is water, all the rivers, water, right, pouring into a lake that's already full. We have the dam, and the way that we manage preventing a catastrophe, we manage the flow, is we control the flow, boundaries, dam wall, sluices, automated system, levers to control and monitor the water coming in and the water going out to make sure there isn't overwhelm, which can happen if we don't take responsibility for managing our flow and being disciplined. So this hexagram 60 is all about creating a container, right? Think of it as like you've got a glass. The water's only half full, okay? Why is the water only half full? Because we've emptied out half the glass to make space for new fresh water, the future gain. The glass is a container. We're willing to accept some self-imposed limits and boundaries on ourselves and impose some healthy, balanced discipline as our path to victory with hexagram 60 to contain our energy, contain our spend, contain our care, and where our time goes. And so hence this idea in February. This is a month of balanced, healthy austerity. I know that word triggers for people, times of flashbacks to COVID-19 and lockdowns. But it's that kind of idea of putting in place some healthy austerity, not harsh austerity, healthy limits, cutting back, focusing on what's really important and being a laser beam. Because that's what we're being asked to focus on right now. There might be other things in your life, other flows of change, work with them, use your critical faculties. But this is something that we can really tap into and work with this month as we decrease excess. We focus on the blessings and not decreasing others as we are increased. We put in place the healthy boundaries, controls of flow, that we don't do too much, we run the risk of overdoing it this month, which is the opposite of this idea of decrease, right? Reducing our involvement in things that take energy that are not right for us right now, or that are not the right kind of sacrifice for us to make. An interesting month. I look forward to working through it with you, and I look forward to cutting back and being happy about making some positive choices, adult choices, on what I'm willing to do, the boundaries I need, the limitations I need, and of course, the things that I need to let go of. Thank you so much. Please like and share. Thumbs up would be really, really great. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell, and follow if you are on the podcast version. And I look forward to connecting with you again. And of course, there's the socials too. Until then, take care.